So flexibility is key and crucial in your life. When there's crises, there are always going to be solutions. And I've learned this too. Please don't think that I'm just like this magical person who has all the answers. I'm old. I'm experienced. I've gained some wisdom and I know better now. So don't think it just doesn't magically happen. I've been working on it. It's just super early in the morning and I'm waiting for my coffee to brew and Kismet's playing with a toy in the trailer. It's like the rainy day, so it's like rainy day activities. So I have therapy today, but I have an interview also with Barrett Media. See what happens there. The other day, article came out in Radio Inc. about mental health and grief and loss in the industry. It's really fun how this is evolving. I'm telling you right now, it's all just Kismet, and I don't mean the dog. He's right there. But that's why his name is Kismet, because whatever is meant to be. And I tell people when they hear about the name of my dog, why I named him Kismet. Because every time I call him, I'm calling what's meant to be. So this is really, I am not orchestrating or facilitating any of the developments like of my own free will. It's just, oh, okay, that's going to be interesting. So we'll see where this goes. Right now I am in Pecos, Texas. And I am headed toward Oklahoma, Hugo, Oklahoma, to do another Radio's Not Dead podcast. So I'm really excited to do this one. Actually, I'm excited to do them all, but this is the second one. So we'll see how it develops and what that's all about. I don't even have any details because I haven't even called the gentleman who owns the stations to finalize the arrangements. All it is, yeah, sure, come on out. Do you need a place to park? That's where I'm at. So this is my early morning update, but obviously this isn't even going to publish until weeks from now. And that's how this goes, because I am not going to let people know exactly where I am at. There's a lot of weirdos out there. So everything that I show you is weeks old. So just know that in advance. This is just a stopover while I'm staying at a escapers campground, and it started to rain. So Kismet and I are just in the trailer, just chilling. I have to do therapy today or we'd be leaving, but I find that the longer drives are a bit of a challenge. Kismet has got a little bit of inside it. What's going on, bud? Oh. You don't like the rain much, do you? It's making you crazy. It sounds really loud. All right. So yeah, since I only stopped, this is how I have to travel. I have to turn the table upside down. And when I got here, I knew I was only going to be here for a couple nights and probably wouldn't need the computer, so I didn't even bother flipping it back over. This is something I want to work on. I don't like it that I have to move furniture every time I move. Like when I'm staying still and I'm stationary for a month or whatever, it's no big deal. But on this trip, it's 3 nights, go, 2 nights, go, 1 night, go. And this whole little thing is just not happening for me. Hello, welcome back to, I think I'm calling this now Kismet Adventures and Serendipitous Encounters, because the Adventures of Kelly and Kismet doesn't even factor in to that. These are Kismet adventures meant to be, and serendipitous encounters means I don't know who I'm going to meet or what's going to happen, but it must have been meant to be, so it's serendipity. I also like the fact that I used to have hamsters that were named Sarah and Dippity, so serendipity. Oh, all right, cool, I like that. Okay, so this is my update. I know I'm wiggling around, my feet are cold. I'm in Arkansas right now, and wasn't expecting to be here this soon to meet up with my friends Bill and Darla, who I'm going to go follow to Kentucky and stay there. However, I've had some technical issues with the trailer, which has been such a mind-boggling experience, because here I am trying to keep the momentum going for Dead Air and the mental health stuff, and I'm trying to work on that stuff. Meanwhile, I'm having some issues with the trailer and the dog. The issue with Kismet and his neck thing is not resolved yet. I've actually identified a specialist in Kentucky that we're thinking maybe it's a salivary gland issue. And so I'm still trying to negotiate or navigate how to get Kismet the proper care he needs. He feels fine. He's in good shape. He's still taking the antibiotics. The vet in Arizona said we were good to travel, so we did. But it's not resolving itself. So I've got that. And then I've had some issues with the power system of the trailer. Now, remember, it's like reflecting back, and I never did do this video because it all happened around the time that my mom's decline became extremely rapid, and then she died. But I had taken the trailer out to Quartzsite after I got it and had the solar and lithium battery installation done with an inverter. And so I should be good to go without being plugged in. But I was only doing that for 3 days, and then I went back to being plugged in, and I've been plugged into hookups ever since. So a couple of things happen now as I'm traveling, and I'm not sure if it's user error or if there's a fault in the system. And so it's been a stressful kind of trip. Not like where I'm so anxious I can't function, but it's really making it hard to enjoy the good stuff happening with dead air in the meantime. So it's like this, I can't even savor and enjoy this work I've done and the connections I've made and the momentum it's gathering, and that people are loving the book, which is humbling, and I love it. Because I'm so focused on, okay, I got to get to destination A. I got this mechanical issue. I got the situation with the dog. And plus I'm grieving over my mom as Mother's Day comes, and I'm out by myself on the road. So it's just been, my head's exploded. Really, it has. So I'm still going to do the next Radio's Not Dead podcast, but rather than try to stay there and be a high maintenance guest for a gentleman I've never met, I've only had one telephone conversation, and I think I've seen him on 2 or 3 Zoom meetings over the last few years. That's the only contact he and I have had. And here I roll into Hugo, Oklahoma, and I'm like, I got some problems with my trailer. You think you can help me out? I wasn't going there. So since my friends Bill and Darla in Arkansas were only a couple of hours away from Hugo, I just made the longer journey and came down here because I can drive back up to Hugo easily with just the truck and do a day, which is how I've navigated it, and I feel so much more peaceful. But it is what I needed to do. And I think that this update was basically just to document that it's not always easy. The journey to where you're going is not always going to be easy. There's going to be a lot of hills to climb. There's going to be the rug pulled out from under you. There's going to be technical issues. There's going to be emotional stuff that's going to want to hold you back. And I'm not saying don't give into it. I'm not saying don't honor these things that are stressing you out, but don't let them control your whole world. I still have a plan. And as far as where I'm going, the what's happening, I don't have a clue. I really don't. But the funny thing is about all of this attention, the radio trade articles and the Radio's Not Dead podcast, which is videos now, and the dead air love that I'm getting. I didn't design it. I literally did not, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to have this, and this was going to happen next and that. No, that's how I wrote the book, but that's not how all of this real life stuff is happening, which is such a different thing. It is genuinely Kismet. In fact, I was told the other day, that is the perfect word for you right now, because everything that's happening is just meant to be. And I'm like, I know, that's why I named my dog Kismet, because every time I call for him, I'm calling in what's meant to be. Language is really important. The words you speak and the thoughts you think are super important. And I hope that as you're watching this, you're realizing that I don't have a marketing plan that's already been written out for Dead Air or my podcast or my travels or anything. It is literally Kismet and serendipitous encounters. Is who am I going to meet next that's going to send me off to my next location? So this is how this happened for me to go to Kentucky. I actually met a gentleman at the NAB show introduced by Mike McVeigh, who you now know I'm working very closely with, that has some radio stations that he manages in Kentucky. And I wanted to go to Kentucky anyway, so it just happened that way. But meanwhile, on my way to Kentucky, I'm trying to navigate, okay, I want to do this. Give me a reason to come to your community. Who's on my road to get to Kentucky? And it turns out that Will Payne in Hugo, Oklahoma is on the way, and he was happy to invite me to come see his station. Then I get technical issues, and I'm not going to blow him off. I already got there, but then I have technical issues, so I thought, okay, we're just going to take a detour. I'm going to go down to Cove and stay with my friends Bill and Darla, where I have that safety and security of knowing that everything's going to be fine. We're going to work it out. But then I can still go back up to Hugo and meet Will Payne and do that. So flexibility is key and crucial in your life. When there's crises, there are always going to be solutions. And I've learned this too. Please don't think that I'm just like this magical person who has all the answers. I'm old. I'm experienced. I've gained some wisdom and I know better now. So don't think it just doesn't magically happen. I've been working on it. So even with my flipping the format on the fear of failure that I'm working on right now, that is the tools I used. I'm just giving you how I did it. To get my life to a point where whatever happens is meant to be and is completely okay. I had a friend remind me of that. She goes, if it's happening, it was meant to be. You can't fight it. So don't fight it. Just learn how to roll with it. It's like a wave. Just ride the wave. So that's what I'm doing. So pictures of where we've been. We took the route from Arizona to New Mexico to 3 different stops in Texas. We stayed in Pecos, in Sweetwater, and Gainesville, and then made our way up to Oklahoma, and then up further to Arkansas. I actually did 3 states in one day. It was interesting. I started in Texas, went through Oklahoma, and then made it to Arkansas. I wasn't intending to do that, but that's part of how these trips often go. You have to be willing to make adjustments and improvise. And so I improvised. I was like, you know what? I just feel safer if I come down to your place. And she goes, we've got hookups, we've got water, we've got a sewer. It'll be safe. The dogs can play. And you know what? It's really beautiful out here. I'll show some pictures. I took a little video of Kismet playing in the grass. It's very pretty and such a difference from the desert. Unbelievably. My hair is absolutely loving the moisture and the humidity out here, which is why it's up bun, like a huge bun, like the biggest bun ever, because it's out of control. So we'll see how it works when I shower and let it dry on its own. When I record the podcast, I may have to wear a hat or something because I think I'm going to look like a bushman. But yeah, my hair absorbs all of the moisture. All right, so it's an early morning update in Arkansas, and I don't know when I'm going to publish this. I have plenty of stuff going on, so there may be more. I think there's already been some. We'll see what happens. But meanwhile, this is Kelly Orchard, not back at the ranch, now in Arkansas, headed to Kentucky. But before I get to Kentucky, there's going to be a Radio Is Not Dead podcast recorded back in Oklahoma. What fun am I having in the midst of all of this crazy stuff technology wise, but it always does resolve itself. I'm wondering now about something, and is it user error and ignorance? And remember, ignorance does not mean I'm stupid. It just means I'm unaware. I'm uninformed. And I have to tell people a lot when they think of ignorance as being something shameful. It's not. It just means you're uninformed. So go inform yourself and you will no longer be ignorant. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to no longer be ignorant about my electrical system when I'm not plugged in. And I think I have a lot to learn still. So meanwhile, we'll see what happens on the next update with Kelly and Kismet. And like I said, I think I'm changing the name to Kismet Adventures and Serendipitous Encounters.